Hi everyone. This is my second day of my own Periscope challenge because I decided that I'm going to start scoping on a regular basis. And so this is day two. Day one, I talked about starting your day. Oh, somebody's here. H. Cara Dumont 42. Thank you for joining me. You know, my first scope yesterday, I don't think I had anybody come. And SF Frisco. Oh, San Francisco? I grew up in Monterey, so it's not too far away. I used to spend my weekends in San Francisco, especially during the Haight-Ashbury time, and went up to see the Grateful Dead play. And anyway, it was just such a fun time. Thank you so much for joining me. As I said, this is only my second scope, the day two of my Periscope challenge. And I am a writer and a mentor. I help women define a clear and strategic plan so that they can have clarity and confidence in pursuing the next act of their lives. Because right about the age of 40, 45, life changes for so many women. And I know that it did for me. Oh, welcome. Thank you, BSRA_ER. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad to have you. And again, I was just saying that this is day two of my Periscope. Today, I wanted to share with you that I created a program, and I'm a woman's mentor, and what I do is I help women with those great big life challenges, and we all have them. And usually, as I was saying, they happen, you know, right around starting around 40 when things change. Maybe your passions changed. All of a sudden, your kids are growing up and they're not needing you quite so much, or your job changes, or maybe there's a divorce or a loss or change of financial situation. Well, those are all things that we all go through. And I know that I did. You see, I thought I had a fairy tale life, and then, oh, thank you for the hearts. I think those are my first hearts on Periscope. Thank you. Anyway, I thought I had a fairy tale life. I mean, I really did have a pretty great life. I grew up in show business. My husband was a producer and a writer for television, and he created many television series that you probably know and love. One of them being Beauty and the Beast, which was on CBS with Linda Hamilton and Ron Perlman. And we had a pretty terrific time with that one because that was the one where we were nominated for an Emmy. And I used to help him write scripts and develop story ideas and characters, and that was really my passion. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is living your passion, because so many of us go through our whole lives not knowing what our passion is and not living our passion. And when my whole life changed in my 40s, I lost my oldest boy at 16 to meningitis, and then the castle walls fell to the ground. Bob! Hello, Bob. So happy that you joined me. I was just saying this is day two of my personal Periscope challenge. And I was saying that I had a fairy tale life. I had this wonderful show business life that I thought nothing bad could ever happen. And then one day something did, and it was the tragic loss of my son. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. And when he died, the castle walls fell to the ground, and I felt like nothing would ever be the same. Well, what I learned is that there's something inside of all of us, and that's called resilience. And resilience is something that actually needs to be activated, because it doesn't just happen. It's inside of us, but it needs to be uncovered. And sometimes resilience is uncovered when you discover your passion. And so that's what I'm talking about today, is living a passionate life. And I've created 7 easy ways today for today's Periscope to identify what you're meant to be doing and become queen of your life. And thanks again for the hearts. It means so much. So first of all, what I did, and actually Bob Donnell was one of the people that helped me so much in developing my passion, because I came to him with a picture I'd drawn, and I drew me in the center of it, I wish I had this here to show you. And then I drew little extensions of me in balloons saying all the things that I loved to do. I loved making jewelry. I loved writing. I loved writing magazine articles. I loved my radio show. I had a radio show for several years in Northern California and then for a year in Phoenix, Arizona. And I loved doing that. And all of those things came together in one big ball of confusion for me because I didn't know what I was meant to be doing. And so in order for me to define what I needed to be doing, I developed sort of a plan with Bob, thank you, in identifying those things that really make me feel good about myself. One of them, step one, is imagine yourself with friends and family. And what is one or two things that they identify as your strengths? Like, what is it that you really love to do and they think you're great at doing it? Well, for me, it was, I loved cooking. I love cooking, but that wasn't what I really wanted to do in life. I also loved entertaining, which was part of the entertainment business, that I was always entertaining, and it was one of my passions, but it wasn't what I really wanted to be doing with my life. And making jewelry, that was a hobby. I really enjoyed doing it, but for me, that was a hobby. And finally, I realized that the one thing that people really thought of me for and that I loved doing was writing. And so that was when my whole life awakened, and I realized that my life was about writing, but more importantly, about writing to help people go through similar circumstances that I've been through and help them see how they can clarify and strategically plan for the next part of their life. So that's step one, is imagine yourself with your family and friends and think about the one or two things that they say that you're really good at. And is it in line with what you love doing? So step two extends off of that. If you don't have to worry about money, what would be the one thing that you would love to do for a living? And start thinking about that in terms of what people think you're good at, what you love to be doing. Would you do it even if you didn't have to earn money? And I know for a fact I would be a writer and a mentor whether I had to earn money or not, because it's what I love to do. Taking that into step three, could you make money or form a business around that talent? And really look at this. What helps you is to look at other people in that role, and are they making money, and are they able to support themselves on what they are doing and what you want to be doing. So that really sort of helps you develop your first vision of a business plan. Step four, can you visualize yourself in that role? Can you close your eyes and really think about yourself as that person? And are you able to envision your strengths and your ability to be passionate about it day after day after day? And is it making a difference in people's lives as you hoped that it would? Those are really important things. Envisioning. The step four is in visualizing yourself in that role. Step five is what's stopping you from realizing your dream. What are your obstacles? Start thinking about what exactly you need to do to take the steps to start making that dream come true. And maybe that's looking at different things like your finances, or what your family needs from you, strategically where you're living. Is that beneficial? Or do you want a freedom-based business where you're mostly online and can do it from anywhere in the world? What is stopping you from actually taking that first step? And you know what it was for me? It was fear. Flat out fear. And I had to really think about dipping my toe in the water and taking a step and going forward. And sometimes all it takes is just one step, and then the other step becomes clear, and then another step becomes clear. So step 6 is imagine yourself giving the gift of your talents to an imaginary client. So what I'm saying is envision yourself wrapping that gift up of your talents and sort of picture it like a dollhouse, like see yourself in that place, doing what you love to do, helping someone and wrapping it up into a great big package with a giant bow on it and giving it to someone, your client, your next client, and see how good that feels. And envision their face when they open it up and see all that you have to offer them. It's such a beautiful moment when you realize that your gifts are so life-changing if you're following your passion and doing what you really want to be doing and what you're meant to be doing in life. Step 7 is what would be the one thing you can do to take one step closer to living your dream. And maybe that means writing a vision plan. Now, I call it a vision plan because I enjoy calling it a vision plan because business plan seems so convoluted and difficult for that first step. Later on, we can do business plan, but vision plan is the first step. Really writing out what your life looks like doing what you love. And then the next thing is sort of assess your financial possibilities. And there are so many ways to achieve what you hope to achieve, and do a vision plan of your finances too. And then research how others are doing what you're doing and start realizing that if they did it, you can do it. And that's just the best thing in the world when you know that you've taken that first step. And I took that first step in challenging myself to do Periscope daily. And as I said, again, today is day 2. And I'm really proud of myself for doing it because even though I spent years on the radio, actually being on a video is so much more challenging. So thank you for joining me because it means the world. Thank you so much. And again, take these 7 steps so that you can then become the queen and reign over your own life. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. All right. Well, it is a huge step. I just decided that I had to do it today or I would feel bad tomorrow realizing that I didn't do it. It's just like have to take that step and the courage and everything. But I know that this is what I'm meant to be doing. And I'm so glad that you joined me. Thank you. I'm going to be back tomorrow with some more ideas. Thanks, Bob. Bye. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.